Hello everybody, Namaskar and welcome to my channel. Before anything else, let me first wish all my viewers and my subscribers a very happy new year. Today I will show you how to make chicken biryani. Biryani is a dish which is made with aromatic seasoned rice, meat or vegetables. I will show you how to make chicken biryani in a step-by-step manner, starting from how to make biryani masala, then how to brown the onions, then how to make the perfect rice for biryani. Stay with me till the end of this video. So first let's make the biryani masala. For this you need 1 whole nutmeg or jaifal. Break it up into small pieces before adding it to your grinder, or else your grinder blades may get damaged. Next, in your spice grinder, add 1.5 tablespoons or 7 grams of cinnamon sticks. Again I have broken them down into small pieces. Next goes in 1.5 tablespoons or 7 grams of green cardamoms or elaichi. Then the nutmeg that you had broken earlier. 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of cloves. 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of black cumin or shahi jeera. If you do not use shahi jeera, then you can use regular cumin seeds or jeera. Then comes 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of mace or javitri. 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of black peppercorns, and finally 1 small star anise. You can leave out star anise if you do not have it, but it gives a nice flavor to the biryani. And grind all these spices to a fine powder and your biryani masala is ready. Store this in an airtight jar and keep it in the fridge. Next comes the marination part. In your blender jar, peel, cut and add about 2 inches of ginger, 6 to 7 cloves of garlic. Add about 2 tablespoons of water to this, then blend it to a paste. Next, in a bowl, take about 1 cup of plain yogurt and stir it very well. To it, add 2 tablespoons of ground coriander powder or dhania powder. Take 1 tablespoon of the biryani masala that you had made earlier and add it. 1 heaped teaspoon of paprika or Kashmiri red chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, half teaspoon of red chili powder. You can add more red chili powder if you want it more spicy. Then mix everything very well. Here I have taken 1 kilo of chicken and I have made big pieces because in biryani it's always good to take big pieces of chicken. To it, I added the yogurt spice mixture and started mixing everything. Then I added the ginger garlic paste and again mixed everything very well. After everything gets mixed very well, you have to marinate it for a minimum of 1 hour and preferably overnight. The more you marinate the chicken, the juicier it will be, so I highly recommend to marinate the chicken for at least an hour. Now before you start cooking the chicken, you have to soak the rice. I always use long grained basmati rice for biryani. Here I have taken 3 1/4 cups or 725 grams of long grained basmati rice. Washed it very well. I washed it about 7 to 8 times with water till the water runs clear. Then soak the rice for a minimum of 30 minutes and maximum of 1 hour. Unless you soak the rice for a while, it won't give that long beautiful look after it's cooked. Next, take 3 large potatoes, peel them, cut them into halves and wash them. My family always like some potatoes and eggs in the biryani, but if you do not like potatoes or if you do not want to use potatoes and eggs in the biryani, then you can leave them out. The choice is all yours. So I have hard boiled 3 eggs and I have made slit marks on them so that the masala goes inside the eggs when they are added to the gravy. Next I have taken 2 large onions, about 334 grams. Cut them into halves and sliced them thinly. The slices should be thin and they should be of the same thickness so that when they are fried they brown up all together. So that's why I used a mandolin slicer, because it makes my life easier and it's much quicker. So see, here the onions are near about of the same thickness. Now let's start cooking. In a wide large pan, add half cup of any oil. Do not let the oil to smoke, but when it gets slightly warm, add the onions. If you add the onions in very hot oil, then they will brown up too soon, and that is not what we are looking for over here. We want to fry the onions on medium heat so that they get the brown color gradually. At the same time, always take a large and a wide pan for making biryani. At the same time, you have to keep stirring the onions until they take a brown color, or else you won't get that even browning. So it took me about 20 minutes to come to this point. You can see the onions have started to brown, but do not make them too brown. At this point, take out the onions and spread them out on a paper towel. In this way, the onions will become crispier soon. Now in that same oil, add the eggs and fry them for about 2 to 3 minutes on medium heat. When the eggs take a little brown color, take them out in a bowl. Next, add 1 large dry bay leaf to the oil. I have cracked open the tip of cardamoms a little bit so that it releases its flavor. So I added 4 green cardamoms and a cinnamon stick. Stir them for a minute on medium heat. Then add the marinated chicken. Now increase the heat to high and stir everything very well. My fried onions have also become very crispy. Now I will add about half of the fried onions to the chicken and again stir everything very well. You have to keep stirring like this till the water evaporates and the oil leaves the sides of the curry, and this takes about 6 to 7 minutes. At this point, when the chicken is looking a bit dry, then you will understand the chicken is well fried. So at this point, lower the heat to medium, then add 2 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Stir again for a minute. Then add the potatoes and again fry for about 2 minutes with the potatoes. Now add a cup of water. I always add warm water as it speeds up the cooking process. Then when the gravy comes to a boil, cover it and keep it on low heat for about 25 minutes. And in these 25 minutes, give it a stir from time to time. In the meantime, I have taken a tea ball mesh. In it, I added about 2 inches pieces of cinnamon stick, 1 black cardamom, 4 to 5 green cardamoms, 5 to 6 cloves, and 1 teaspoon of black cumin or shahi jeera. Shahi jeera is optional. If you do not want to add it, then you can skip. You can even do this in a cloth. In that case, tie the cloth very well with a thread and then put it into the water. Just to let you know that some of the cumin seeds from my wire mesh did escape while boiling rice, so you may see some cumin seeds in my rice later on. I have started boiling water in a large pot and then I inserted my tea ball mesh in the pot, and when the water comes to a boil, I added the rice to it. To it, I added 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar. Next, add 1 dry bay leaf. Now on medium to high heat, cook the rice. Please do not leave the rice from this point, because cooking the rice is the most crucial thing while making biryani. You cannot let the rice become overcooked and become mushy. So keep checking the rice very frequently and stir it from time to time. I always taste the rice and check it. At 5 minutes mark, the rice will still have a little bite to it, but start checking frequently from the 8-minute mark. Then the rice must be bit chewy and nearly 90% done. My rice took about 10 minutes to come to this point, means it tasted bit chewy and it was just 90% done. And at this point, take it out immediately and drain your rice in a colander or through a metal perforated container. I discarded the bay leaf and see how the rice is all well cooked, but it's not mushy and all the grains are separate. In the meantime, don't forget the chicken, guys. Give it a stir from time to time. Now take about 1/4 cup of warm milk and add about 1/4 teaspoon of saffron to it and mix it and keep it aside. After 25 minutes I added the eggs, and from now on I will keep my pan uncovered, and on medium to high heat I will keep stirring so that the gravy dries up a little bit more. Then take keura water. You can get this at any Indian grocery store here in the US or online. If using keura water, then add 1 teaspoon of it, and if using keura essence, then add just a drop. Keura is an extract distilled from the flower of the pandanus plant. It gives a nice flavor to your biryani. Now with a ladle, I took out a little bit of gravy into a bowl. Why, I will tell that a little bit later. The gravy has now reduced quite a bit. The potatoes have also become soft and the chicken is almost done. But don't wait for the chicken to fall off the bones, as this will again be on low heat with the rice. At the same time, please do not let the curry become totally dry. There should be some gravy left, then only your biryani will taste good. And you have to keep little bit of that liquid for that steam to form when you cook with rice. So it took me about 40 minutes for the chicken to be done. Now I put a heavy metal flame tamer on my burner and let it get heated on high heat. You can also use a flat heavy pan or tawa for this. Now comes the fun part, the layering. Take out the eggs, you will need those later for garnishing. Now add some rice on top, covering the chicken. Sprinkle some of your homemade biryani masala on top and again layer with the rest of the rice. Now add 2 teaspoons of keura water, then the saffron milk. Again sprinkle some biryani masala, then add the rest of the brown onions, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of clarified butter or ghee. Next I made 3 small depressions in the rice and sprinkled very little food coloring. Food color is totally optional, you can leave it out if you are concerned about it. Next, remember that little bit of gravy that I had saved earlier. In goes that as well. And finally, I sprinkled little bit of salt on top. You can even add mint leaves. My family doesn't like the flavor of mint, that's why I didn't add. Now my iron flame tamer is screaming hot and ready for my biryani. Cover it up with a tight lid, or put a weight on top of your lid if it's loose, and first keep it on high flame for about 4 to 5 minutes. See after 4 minutes how the steam is building inside. Now lower the heat to as low as you can go and keep it covered like this for 10 minutes. So after 15 minutes our biryani is done. So that's all for today. Hope you like this video. Eat healthy and stay healthy. Bye bye.